Look up at the night sky and you'll see worlds that fit our understanding. Mars glows red with promise. Jupiter dominates with its storms. Saturn mesmerizes with those impossible rings. And then there's Uranus. At first glance, it seems peaceful, almost inviting. A serene sphere of pale cyan drifting silently through the cosmic ocean. No violent tempests scarring its surface. No dramatic features demanding your attention. Just stillness, just silence. But that silence is a lie, because Uranus isn't peaceful. It's broken, shattered. A world that shouldn't exist in the form we see today. And when you understand what's actually happening there, you realize you're looking at one of the most disturbing objects humanity has ever studied. Every planet in our solar system tells a story, but Uranus tells a horror story. It's a monument to cosmic violence, a scar in space that has never healed, and the more we learn about it, the more unsettling it becomes. Because this world operates under rules that defy everything we thought we understood about planetary formation. It challenges our models, it breaks our predictions, and it forces us to confront a terrifying truth about our universe. Chaos always wins, order is temporary, and violence echoes across billions of years. The first clue that something went catastrophically wrong appears in how Uranus moves. Every other major planet in our solar system rotates with its axis roughly perpendicular to its orbit. They spin upright like children's tops. It's the natural configuration, the way physics prefers things to be. But Uranus defies this fundamental rule. Its rotational axis is tilted 98 degrees. For all practical purposes, this planet is spinning on its side. While its neighbors stand and spin, Uranus tumbles through space like a barrel rolling down an endless hill. It doesn't rotate, it somersaults. And this isn't a minor quirk. This is evidence of unimaginable trauma. The laws of planetary formation don't allow for this kind of orientation to occur naturally. When planets coalesce from the protoplanetary disk, they inherit the angular momentum of that swirling cloud of gas and dust. They should all spin in roughly the same direction, tilted only slightly. The fact that Uranus lies on its side can mean only one thing. Something hit it, hard. Harder than most collisions we can imagine. Scientists theorize that early in the solar system's violent adolescence, when planets were still sorting themselves out and space was a demolition derby of rock and ice, Uranus encountered another planetary body. Not a small asteroid, not even a large moon. We're talking about a protoplanet, a massive object potentially several times the mass of Earth. And these two worlds didn't just graze each other. They collided with such devastating force that the impact fundamentally restructured Uranus. The strike was so powerful it knocked the entire planet onto its side and changed its destiny forever. Think about what that means. The energy required to tip over an entire planet, to overcome its rotational inertia and spin it 90 degrees. We're discussing forces beyond human comprehension. Energies that would vaporize entire moons, shock waves that rippled through thousands of kilometers of atmosphere and interior. This wasn't just a planetary collision, this was planetary murder. And the corpse still orbits the sun, carrying the evidence of its violent death 4 billion years later. But the true nightmare of Uranus isn't its past, it's the present. It's what this catastrophic tilt means for conditions on the planet today. Because when a world spins on its side, the rules of seasons change entirely. On Earth, we experience seasonal variation because our axis is tilted about 23 degrees. This gives us summer and winter, spring and fall, cycling predictably every few months. It's gentle, it's balanced. Uranus experiences none of that mercy. Since the planet is sideways, it's curved. Poles don't gradually lean toward and away from the sun. They point directly at it. One pole faces the sun for half the orbit, while the other faces away into the darkness of deep space. And since Uranus takes 84 Earth years to complete one orbit, this creates seasons of incomprehensible length. 42 years. That's how long each pole experiences its season. 42 years of continuous daylight on one hemisphere. No night, no respite. Just the distant sun hanging in the same position in the sky, never setting, never moving, for decades. A twilight that lasts longer than most human lifetimes. But the daylight on Uranus offers no warmth. The sun is so far away it appears as barely more than a bright star. The illumination is weak, cold, insufficient. Even bathed in constant sunlight, the temperature remains lethally frozen. Meanwhile, the opposite hemisphere suffers through 42 years of total darkness. Not the darkness of a long winter night on Earth where the sun at least rises eventually. Absolute, unending blackness for 4 decades. Imagine being born into that darkness, growing up never seeing the sun, living your entire existence under a sky filled only with distant stars, aging, dying, all without ever witnessing daylight. By the time dawn finally arrives, generations have passed in shadow. This extreme seasonal pattern creates atmospheric dynamics we're only beginning to glimpse. When Voyager 2 made its historic flyby in 1986, it captured images of what appeared to be a completely bland world. No storms, no bands of color, no features at all, just a smooth sphere of pale blue-green. Scientists were puzzled. Neptune, Uranus's near twin in size and composition, rages with storms and displays dramatic atmospheric activity. Why did Uranus look so dead? The answer is we were looking at the wrong wavelengths. When advanced telescopes examined Uranus using infrared imaging, the dead world suddenly revealed its secrets. The planet is alive with activity. Massive storm systems churn beneath that deceptively calm exterior. The atmosphere roils with dynamics we still don't fully understand. Calling Uranus an ice giant is technically accurate but misleading. There are no solid ice sheets here, no frozen surfaces you could stand on. The ice is a hot, dense fluid, a bizarre high-pressure soup of water, methane, and ammonia compressed under thousands of atmospheres. The pressure is so extreme that familiar chemical bonds break apart and reform into exotic states of matter. Deep in the interior, scientists believe conditions are right for carbon to crystallize out of the surrounding fluid. Diamond rain. Countless diamonds, some perhaps the size of buildings, precipitating slowly through layers of compressed ice, sinking toward a core we cannot see and may never understand. It's beautiful and completely inaccessible, a treasure beyond imagination locked away in a toxic pressure cooker. But here's what truly sets Uranus apart from Neptune. It's cold, not just surface cold, fundamentally, mysteriously cold. Uranus holds the record for the coldest planetary atmosphere in our solar system. Temperatures plunge to minus 224 degrees Celsius. And unlike Neptune, which radiates more heat than it receives from the sun, Uranus barely emits any internal heat at all. It's almost as thermally dead as a rock floating in space. Why? Where did all that primordial heat go? The leading theory returns us to that ancient collision. The impact that knocked Uranus sideways may have also expelled most of its internal thermal energy into space. The planet's core might have been partially disrupted, its heat bleeding away into the void, leaving behind something cold and hollow. And if the cold wasn't enough, there's the stench. The atmosphere is loaded with hydrogen sulfide, the same compound that gives rotten eggs their nauseating smell. If you could somehow survive the pressure and the cold long enough to take a breath, the last thing you'd experience before dying would be the overwhelming reek of decay. Uranus is a world that attacks every sense. It freezes you, it crushes you, it suffocates you, and it assaults you with the smell of sulfurous rot, all while looking serene from a distance. This is cosmic horror in its purest form. Beauty masking absolute lethality, calm concealing chaos, a broken world pretending to be whole.